Hi, folks. This is Dr. Kat Schreier with another fabulous one-on-one for the Water Show at WaterCitizen Media Foundation. And we're here at One Water Summit in Atlanta and getting a chance, for the first time, I get to the chance to meet the great Frank Avila from Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago.
Yes.
Yay, I got it. Woo! Of course, we've already met David St. Pierre, and I actually heard of Frank from our mutual friend, Carol Washner.
Well, yes.
Also in online media, as we are, that doesn't specialize in water. So excited to meet you and hear more about your background and how you got involved with Reclamation District. So tell us about the district first.
Okay, first, as Dr. Kat mentioned, my name is Commissioner Frank Avila. I'm the commissioner at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. We're not part of the city of Chicago. We're not part of the state. We're not part of the county. We're a separate agency that covers all of Cook County. It's 5 million people that poop and pee every day. You eat, you drink.
Hope.
I hope. They eat, they drink, they take a shower, anything that they do in relationship to water, washing their hands,
all
pooping,
goes down the drain,
peeing, washing their car, dishes, all goes down into the local source and then into our source.
Nice.
And we have 7 wastewater plants in Cook County. One is the largest in the world. It treats up to about 1.4 billion gallons of wastewater. You know, they call it wastewater, but it's a combination of poop and pee and all the storm water and the runoff that goes into our system.
Now, did you get this job just so you could say poop and pee?
No, I got the job because I'm good looking, a good dancer, and a good singer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, what did you do before you were? Now, is commissioner actually your name, or is that just,
no? That's a title. It's an elected position. And I ran for office, and I won. You know,
otherwise it'd be a good thing that you got the job because if that was your name.
Yeah. Oh, yes, because I have a degree in civil engineering, and I have a master's in finance, and I own a engineering business for about 30 years, and I sold it, and I always liked politics,
Nice.
And so I ran twice, and I lost. Twice.
For commissioner.
Yes, for commissioner.
Wow. So these are competitive.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I mean
was it the dead people voting for you or the living
I hope everyone voted for me.
Living and dead.
Living dead, and I hope they voted for me twice.
Vote early and often, for Frank.
And so I ran twice and I lost. The third time I told my wife I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
And so my wife and I, we went out.
Sometimes you got to flush a few times before it goes down.
Yeah. So my wife and you have to collect signatures to get on the ballot. So my wife and I, we went out every day and we collected 17,000 signatures. The minimum requirement is 6,000 signatures. So when you're running for office, your opponent will like to look at your signatures and throw you off the ballot because you may not have good signatures. We made sure that we had 17,000 good signatures to get on the ballot. And
so this is someone really passionate about poop and pee.
Yes,
going out and collected 17,000 signatures to be able to work with your poop and pee.
Well, I always like politics, and I always wanted to run for an office that if I get elected, I would know what I'm doing in that office.
Yeah.
And our agency, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, Greater Chicago, is a engineering type of agency. Yeah. We're not a legislative body where we pass laws or a judge where we'll find a person guilty. Now we're an operational type of agency.
Right.
By operational, what I mean is that, as I mentioned, anything you do during the day as relates to water, it comes into our plant, and we treat it. And every day, after we treat poop, we have 550 tons of it every day. It comes in and it goes out, and that treated poop is fertilizer. It's the best fertilizer that one could ever use on their lawn. The farmers love it. When the farmers use that treated poop, that fertilizer, and we don't call it treated poop or fertilizer, we call it, since we're so high class and intelligent, we're in the United States, we call it biosolids.
Oh, biosolids.
They call it biosolids. And the farmers love our biosolids because they yield more per acre on our biosolids because we have more nutrients in your treated poop. And so also if a person now this year, we are going to sell the treated poop. We'll make pellets out of it. So look at it. We get our revenue.
Does it have a little label on the side that's manufactured in Chicago? Chicago poop.
Yeah. So we are going to sell
Chicago poop pellets.
Yeah. We're going to sell the pellet, and the phosphorus. Everyone's complaining about too much phosphorus in the waterways. Well, the pellets that we're going to sell is that the roots, anytime they need that nutrient, they're going to get from the pellet. And so it won't be a runoff going into
right. So it's not just over too much of a good thing.
Right, too much. So when the root needs a plant needs that nutrient, it's going to absorb it from the pellet. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. As I mentioned, we have the largest wastewater plant in the world.
It's bigger than DC Waters.
We have
the DC Water is the largest advanced tertiary, or
we are very advanced. We as I mentioned, we our one plant.
Do you and DC Water?
Oh no. We all work.
One big happy family.
We work together. Yeah, and we have the largest wastewater plant in the world. We have the largest reservoir in the world. We have the largest phosphorus recovery system in the world. We have the largest ultraviolet disinfection plant in the world. We are big. As I mentioned, our budget is $1.2 billion. We have employ about 2,000 employees, and we have a large research staff that does an awful lot of research. We're various water agencies that do not have a research staff look at us for innovation in how to treat your poop and pee.
Now, I got a poop and pee question for you. And we've done a lot of work on water and food. And in fact, we're about to relocate.
Water and food?
Water and food. And in fact, you asked me where I am, and I just moved out of our place in DC. And I'm sort of couch surfing again and making my way around to all these water conferences. Then I got to head back to DC, and then we're going to do a road trip, hopefully hitting as many cities as we can and finding cool stuff, water across America, as I move to LA to work on this Running Dry film with Jim Tebow. Where you see Running Dry, the international one and the Colorado River one. Anyway, the third in the series is on water and food security, focusing on the Central Valley. But
they have a lot of problems in that Central Valley.
Absolutely. Well, and what we're talking about today,
that's God's country for all the fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely, nuts. They got lots of nuts in California. But that's why I'm moving. But anyway, we were talking today about journalists and the media and what are they media says that engineering stories aren't interesting. The engineering stories are boring and nobody wants to hear engineering. It's like bull. We make water sexy. That is our job, and that a lot of that is civil engineering, because civil engineering is taking science and technology and applying it to society.
Right. And a civil engineer has saved more lives than any other profession.
Absolutely.
Because why have we saved more lives? Water, drinking water, because our body made up of 67% of water. So we provide the water filtration plants. We have the wastewater plants. So we have saved an awful lot of people. Yeah. As a civil engineer.
And there are great stories in there. Yeah. So we don't, as a profession, we don't really learn how to do other than technical writing. We learn how to write reports. We learn how to write, studies, whatever. We don't learn how to write in a storytelling fashion and communicate the great stories that are within every single project that we do as civil engineers.
Yes.
But so a poop and pee question. So one of the issues that's come up quite a bit in the whole clean water, wastewater, reclaimed water, whatever you want to call it, industry is what's in the water and how that relates to what is in us, because that's where the poop and pee comes from.
Right.
So as we change our diets, are we seeing changes in the composition as we get off of meat and become more vegetarian, or in other countries where they go from vegetarian to eating more meat?
Well, we haven't seen much change, because not very many, like I became a vegan 10 years ago.
Really?
And the reason why I became a vegan is that right after I got elected, I chair engineering, I chair maintenance and operation, and I chair health and welfare. So when I got elected, I went on to talk about health and welfare. And my wife says, Frank, you're a big phony, because you come home and you eat all that garbage. And she was right. I loved all the garbage. I like the ribs, the hot dogs, and the pizza, anything that they put in front of me, I ate.
Yeah.
So my wife says, "Look, Frank, I'm going to change your behavior." So she took me with her to a vegan spa. Now I didn't know it was a vegan spa, and there I went. It was in Lemon Grove, California, and I went there. They showed us the facility, and the last part of the tour were in the dining room where you ate. So they had three plates: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so we had, and it was a raw vegan. So we had raw vegetables and vegetable juice for breakfast.
Yeah.
Then for lunch, raw vegetables and vegetable juice for lunch. And when I looked at supper, it looked the same thing as breakfast and lunch. And I was thinking to myself, is this nuts? What did my wife send me to? And so the first week was very hard on me because I loved all that garbage. 3 weeks. And so I went to the desk and I said, at first I checked the stove because I told my wife, I got to go out and buy some food.
Get a burger.
Yeah, burger or something. And so I went out and I checked the stove. So it was working. So I went to the desk. I said, your stove is not working. And they said, sure, Mr. Avila. The reason why that stove doesn't work is people like you that want to go out and buy food and cook it there. You're here. Your wife said you're going to be here. And so that first week was hard. Yeah, my kids call.
And and you're flushing it all out of your system.
Right,
you're changing it.
Right, my wife called and says, my kids call me and they says, Dad, how's it going? I said, I think your mother went nuts because we're at a place that is driving me crazy. But the second week, I got into the groove of eating raw vegetables. The third week, I got in the groove because not only were they changing my behavior in eating, I was learning about toxic chemicals. I was learning about personal care products, cosmetics, lipstick, exercise, yoga, stretching. That changed my life after the 3 weeks. Now, look at me now. I'm good looking. I'm a good dancer. And
I haven't seen you dance yet. We'll get you on okay. I'll take your word for it.
But going back to, and then I was elected.
Yeah.
So
may I ask how old you are?
I'm 78. 78 years old.
Damn good looking for 70. Yeah.
See, and so I went back to the district with all this, what I learned about toxic chemicals, about personal care products, about, and then I went to WEFTEC at that time. It was in Dallas, I think it was in Dallas, and they had a session on personal care products and how right now they call it microconstituents at WEFTEC, or they were calling it compound of emerging concern, and they were saying that when all these chemicals and these these products that are all toxic, and they meet in the sewer, they form new synthetic hormones. See, so I did a little more research on it, and I saw how it was affected. Now they're making research now how why fish change from female to male, male to female to neuter, and it's all because of these toxic chemicals that are going in. Here, we're worrying about the nutrients going into our waterways, phosphorus, algae, all of the nitrogen. They're all going into our waterways. And that's because of all the chemicals that a farmer uses. That they ingrained to this is how you have to grow your crops. But maybe they don't need all that, and maybe they have to change the way on how to farm because they have to make a living. They have to provide food for the family, but they have to. When the people buy the food, they have to be healthy too. See, and then it comes into our wastewater plant, and they want us to remove everything. And I get a lot of questions saying that, Frank, you got to remove all of prescription drugs in the waterways. So I tell them, I said, what do you think is the best solution to remove the pharmaceutical drugs in our waterways? What do you think the best solution? I tell them the best solution is staying healtzy. It says,
not taking all those.
Not taking,
I think about that so much now. If somebody wants to prescribe me a bunch of pills, okay, is there another way to do that? Not just because of what it does in my body, but what it does in everybody else's body when it passes through me, which most of that
passes
stuff
goes
right through you.
And so, I mean, we're in our lifetime, we have to learn how to limit our prescription drugs because we have a good health system, good insurance that, and you go to a hospital, he takes your blood pressure, he checks your heart rate, and then you write out a pad of paper prescription, and you go to the store and get a prescription.
Well, you got this whole list of drugs.
Right. And so that's the only way. So I That's why I go out, and when I talk about health, I talk about if you're not a vegan eating better food, then watch what you eat on the meat side. That the hormones and the steroids that they put in the product to make it grow faster, to bring it to the market faster. Watch what you eat. Watch your processed food.
Yeah,
watch
sugar and
your
flour.
Sugar.
Yes. I've been I've been cutting down on that since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, well, watch your. That's why our kids now are being born with adult diseases. Yeah. That's why I attended a conference in Cleveland, and the doctor in Cleveland gave a talk, and he showed a chart why the kids born in the middle of the planting season.
Right.
The curve goes up. When they're born, they have more diseases than when the kids that are not born, not in the planting season.
Just gonna plug this in.
Yes, keep going. And so it shows that what they were putting atrazine in the field, that the kids had more diseases than kids.
My production assistant over there.
That the kids didn't have that much disease. It was a doctor in Cleveland, Ohio. Excellent talk.
Well, there's so much of that work out there. In fact, a lot of where I learned what I know about new media comes from folks in the coaching and transformational and kind of alternative health space.
Yes.
And who have used a lot of new media because they're not being picked up on mainstream media and with mainstream professional organizations and things like that. So they use new media to go straight to the people.
Yes. And also what we're talking about phosphorus, right?
Right.
When we limit our waste, we limit out the phosphorus.
Exactly.
So if we were to change our diet, then we have
exactly.
less phosphorus coming through our system.
So so the changes we make in our diet not only change our own health,
yes,
but the health of the environment and the health of all the people who drink what comes out of us in our poop and pee.
And our kids, as I mentioned,
because everybody's downstream of somebody.
Right, everyone is downstream. You're absolutely, and our kids, when they're born, they have adult diseases. Well, when they get into school, they have a learning disability already. Yeah. So, and here we have a big problem in our school with kids. And they're all talking about that we need smaller classrooms. We need a preschool. We need better teachers. The teachers have a hard job now. Yeah. They have a very difficult job. But no one is talking about eating better food, buying better personal care products that doesn't have these toxic chemicals in the personal care products. No one that talks about that to improve the kids' learning. Wow. No one is.
Yeah. And pointing all the fingers externally and what the government's doing to us, what the utilities doing to us. Right. But there's so many choices that we, and in all parts of society.
Yeah.
I mean, so